What up? All right. Everybody, as usual, skip to the 10-minute mark if you are watching this on the replay. That way you can skip all of the regular banter. Is that how you say it? Annie. Hello. All right. Tom Buddhas, what's up? Thank you all for joining, by the way. How are you? Is everything going okay? I really want to try and do some more streams weekly now. And he says, flat out, happy to hear you, my dude. Thank you. All right. All right. How is everyone else? There's like a few people in here. Some people aren't talking. So I had a really interesting, this isn't going to be a long one today, but I have a very interesting show today, you know? Hey, Dodge, what's up? What's up? Dodge says, a long time no see, Amish. I know, right? Very sorry about all that. Like, I really want to see if I can start streaming a little bit more. There's so much going on in the world now, and my views on a lot of stuff is really, I'm seeing things that I feel like I shouldn't even see. Do you know what I mean? I'm seeing really weird stuff. The equivalent to what I'm seeing is people defending like mass murderers, for instance, like that type of stuff. I'm seeing things that are not even debatable or even within the realm of defending, and I'm watching people just try and defend all of this stuff, and it's outrageous to see. It's like I don't even know how to react to some of that stuff. I really don't. Um, Truth over comfort. I agree. And what's up? What's up? But yeah, I'm seeing. I was watching. There's a couple people that asked me about going on to like modern day debate, and I'm like, nah, dude, that's not a real debate channel. That's kind of like Jaren's debatism. It's not a real debate, especially when people are just like speaking how they feel about things. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit. Was like it comes down to people's feelings and emotions. They all like, oh, I don't feel the same way as you, so that means be right, you must be wrong. And I'm like, dude, this isn't a feel thing. That's why I like a lot of the work that Nathan Oakley and them put in his panel, is because everything is just based on experimentation. And when you base everything on experimentation, you can actually find out what's true and what's not. Is it observable, testable, repeatable, falsifiable, demonstrable, empirical? And that's all there is to it. It's not about, oh well, I like this guy. I've been having that happen to me in what is it called, in the music realm, when I ask people if they think that something is music or not. You know what I mean? Jennifer, well, hello. What's up? What's up? How are you? Um, it's been happening to me a lot, where a lot of people are like, "Hey, do you consider this music? Do you consider that music? I'm like, no, you can't just like smear crap on a paper and then say that that's a painting. It's not. It's not subjective. Music or art has a clear definition. Scribbles, what's going on? Ricardo. So, and thanks everybody for joining. Appreciate that. I didn't put a little I didn't put a little 30-minute heads up notice out. So for everybody that's on the rewatch at the 10-minute mark, in about a couple more minutes, you can skip if you want. So real quick, right? I want to get ready to get into it because I know this is going to make a couple people mad, but like I don't care. I'm not trying to. I'm not. My goal is not to offend people, but I feel like I just want to put this in perspective real quick so that people know. These are some of the things that I'm seeing and that I've been talking with people about. So I work with a lot of people offline, and that's the real crazy part about a lot of this. All right, let me pull this up real quick. And I'm going to read it to everybody. I want to know if anybody knows about this. All right. Tommy, what's up? What's up? Alive and well says, hey, what's going on? Thank you all for joining, by the way. How is everyone doing? Has everybody seen the division over this little conflict that they have going on with all the star people and Gaza? YouTube just took down another one of my videos again. They take at least one or two down every week. And I think they're labeling it medical misinformation. So I think the algorithm is basically picking up on if I'm talking about germ theory or I mean, you can't even speak anymore on YouTube without them actually pulling you down now. I mean, has it ever been that way? If I were to show people some of the songs that I have now, like that I made years ago, I mean, I don't even think I could actually upload any of them on here without them actually getting taken down. On the YouTube terms of service, apparently you can actually make a diss track on people and it's not considered a threat. What do you think about that one? I have a song I haven't even released because I don't want it perceived as being like some kind of a. Scribble says, doing great. Good weather for some painting outside, doing some artwork for a neighbor. Sounds good. Sounds good. The weather has just, I mean, it's been, the weather here is not what it's supposed to be. It should be like 40 degrees outside, and it has been 70. I mean, pretty much it should be freezing at the moment, but with all of the stratospheric aerosol injections, it's like it's almost no way to get around. All right. Anyway, how about we get into it real quick? Did you guys see what was going on with Truth Over Comfort says YouTube gave me a warning just for mentioning. Yeah. In a comment. Yeah. Yeah, there's something else. There's something else. And that's exactly what they do. I mean, it's communism. A lot of people don't realize that's the Bolshevism. That's where it ended up. And that actually goes into what I'm going to talk about today, because a lot of people don't seem to understand it. But that's where it comes from. Ignoring it, like I've seen a lot of guys on here say, let's just ignore what's going on over there. Let's not pick a side. Let's do this. This doesn't involve us. Everything that these people do involves us. What happened over in China? The next thing you know, people are running around with needles trying to kill you, right? What happened over in Russia with Ukraine? The next thing you know, now you can't get products, your shipments are delayed, and everything's all screwed up now dealing with Russia and stuff like that. Everything, everything that happens overseas or anywhere else always has an effect on us. And we cannot just sit back and actually ignore any of it. That makes no sense whatsoever. Oh yeah, and they'll pause you and mute you. I actually made a comment about Clint Eastwood, and I was asking a question about one of his films, and they're like, "Here, you need to follow the community guidelines." I'm like, "Dude, I didn't ask anything. All I did was ask if he was if the movie they were talking about was Unforgiven, which is one of my favorite Clint Eastwood films." Yennefer says, "Right, but they let people put videos on Brazilian waxing for your genitals and show everything for children, teenagers, and adults to see." Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a few guys that got deleted off of YouTube strictly for just putting information out, and they said it was for nudity or something. I was like, dude, come on. So real quick, let's get into it real quick. Let me see. Truth says, right, it's like a domino effect. If you talk truths, you're not a player. A boob tube employee, they'll take your channel down. Yeah, yeah, actually, they would be reviewing my channel now for it to actually start growing like crazy. They would probably review it, and as I see, they're on a path of pulling down all my videos, so I may end up actually having to temporarily put them hidden in order to get it reviewed. I really don't know. I think I'm just going to wait and see how it's going to turn out before I even try and reach out. By the way, Pastor Odell is doing a debate on flat Earth. I just figured I'd let everybody know. This is really interesting that somebody's actually going to give him a platform to talk about that. It's pretty big. I think it's Pastor Locke. I guess his son came home and tried to show him about flat Earth, and he said, "No, we're not going to have any of that." And he felt really compelled to act a fool. However, I feel like he's doing something very, very brave, and I'm not going to call him a fool. I'm not. He did act foolish, and he said some real reckless things, but good on him for seeing, the way that the spirit can move through people. So now he's actually going to go up against someone who's written multiple books on flat Earth, and as long as he's good, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that cannot debate, and that's the point of what I'm about to get into. Res Q Freedom says, "Hello, everyone from Newcastle, Indiana. Glad to see that you and Yoder and the boys are doing all right." People are waking up and fast. Thank you for all you do, my friend, and God bless. Thank you. Thank you. And me and Yoder and them are fine. We're all doing good. And he says, "There is no communication without infiltration. We almost need to create a new language and mark trees like hobos to speak in person." Yeah. See, here's the thing. I got mad with Flattoberfest and all those pieces of trash because they're not actually organizing anything. They're putting together these festivals to take people's money, and they're not doing anything. And we know this, don't we? Like we know this. We know this. Anything. They're not creating their own languages. They're not doing anything. Literally, there's people that's not even legitimate flat earthers that I've seen personally that's been creating their own languages, such as call for an uprising. I don't know what his name is now, but he has to say magic potion anytime he's talking about taking something because they'll pull his channel down instantly. And you got other people. Who was the guy from the outer light? Is that it? The outer light? I think he calls it the leg waxing ceremony. So how many people had their legs waxed, And the real truth is that a lot of these other guys have just decided, I'm not going to talk about it at all. Me, I've never actually stopped talking about it. The only reason I have been laid off a little bit from speaking on it is because for me, it feels kind of really too late. I've been speaking on the stuff that's coming out now for years. I was actually doing live streams for any of you who were here around that time. I was doing live streams on the Censorship and how it was attacking a lot of stuff dealing with women and pregnancies and all this. This stuff was going on in real time over here. I'm not monetized, which is why they haven't gave me a huge strike. But I've had tons of videos removed for going against so-called guidelines. Apparently, I don't even understand it. Yeah. And yeah, Tommy Rogers says that makes flat peeps look bad while coining in on the gig. Yeah, it is. And it is by design, 100%. All right. So check this out. Did you guys get to see this? I'm not playing the whole thing. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Can you hear this?
Dave here. This is scripted.
Could you guys hear that? Dodge this says I'm being censored for saying don't forget the file.
I hate to say it. A Chick Pot Pie says they are actors, and they all are.
After my video presentation on David Weiss and the entire debacle.
Okay. Thank you. All right. This is Russian vids. Now, I've had issues with Russian vids, and I kind of did tell them off. And then I unsubscribed from. The reason is because some of these guys feel like they own Flat Earth and they don't. Okay. No one's taking your work. It's not your work. It's no one's work. There are no owners of Flat Earth.
With Tyler Oliveira, another Logan Paul clone type individual. I received many phone calls, text messages, emails in support from many people within the Flat Earth community. As he watched my video on David Weiss, and the interesting thing is he's had David Weiss as a guest many, many times on his channel. But after watching my video on David Weiss, he completely buries David Weiss, calls him an actor. Another hit piece on Flat Earth. No different as you see here with this.
By the way, I'm only showing like a couple seconds. This isn't going to be long.
To the edge and back. Nothing more than a pantomime, nothing more than, again, a hit piece on Flat Earth with Logan Paul and his nearly 24 million subscribers.
So this is what the meeting of that society, they allowed Logan Paul to come over here. You guys remember that, and completely destroyed that entire thing.
Just like what 4 point.
Here's another one. Professor Dave finally actually got to speak with someone. And instead of Dave Weiss, instead of him actually talking to Nathan Oakley or talking to somebody who actually has sense, or even reaching out to Eric Dubé, I don't care what he had to do, but he should have been having someone on here who could actually explain this stuff properly and destroy Professor Dave on here. And instead, he let this go out to 4.5 million people, making him look like a complete fool, which is why I don't like David Weiss. Everybody knows this already.
2 million views.
And David Weiss has left some comments on my page here talking about, oh, my app's not for money. Your app is for money, David. Why don't you stop lying? And you also got that QR code up here for telling everybody to scan it. Okay. When have I ever promoted a QR code?
Views. David Weiss doing his best to make Flat Earth look silly. And unfortunately, this is what's happening. The controlled op that David Weiss is.
It's very interesting because this guy over here on the left that David's talking to, David invited him to his home for a couple of days before the Flattoberfest. And boy, I love Dave, but the investigative reporter in me thinks that it sure looks like these two guys got together to plan what was to take place at Flattoberfest, and Karen B.
Definitely scripted to be played out this way to the millions and millions of followers that Logan Paul has.
We don't even have a real picture of the globe, so I don't have a picture of my intestines, but I know they exist.
So you saw that.
I just wanted to show that real quick. This is the type of debate that this guy has. You don't have a picture of the globe. You don't have this. I don't have a picture of my intestines. And this guy is stumped. I don't understand why these people feel like they're actually doing something good for the truth community when they're not. None of these people are doing anything good for flat earth or for any of the realities that we live by. None of them. They're all doing it for money, and they're really not good. This dude is David Weiss has been going around showing people this land and this map of extra land constantly, which is all that he does, knowing that we can't even get to Antarctica. And he's up here saying that there's other lands and other circles with other suns and all this nonsense, which is why I attacked it early on, because I didn't want that to be what people were talking about. Because in a debate setting, a debate needs to be handled properly, and they need to be crushed, and they need to be held to task. That's the reason Nathan Oakley and them are the best when it comes to debates. It's because they hold them to task, okay? You can't let people move. Rez says, money is the root of all evil. That's all they are. Snake oil salesmen. They're cashing in on true flat earther content. Between you, Eric Dubé, and Terry, you guys believe truth is free. It is. It is. It is 100%. I couldn't charge people for. I have an issue with the subscriptions. I actually have an issue with the subscriptions. I have an issue with people claiming that you need to constantly subscribe and give people money. Okay. When you subscribe to a magazine company, they're actually sending you certain products every single week or month. You actually are getting something in your hand. When you're just subscribing to someone to either listen to them talk, it isn't really doing anything. If you do want to support someone, that's entirely different. But moving your content and hiding it behind nothing but paywalls is not beneficial or doing anything for anyone. Creating these apps is not actually helping at all, not even in the slightest. You know what I mean? And he says, the love of money is evil. Money is just paper. Exactly. Exactly. Ricardo says, smash the like, everyone. Everyone smash the like. Thank you. Thank you, bro. So I just had to say that because Russian Vids doesn't own the truth. Mag doesn't own the truth. David Weiss doesn't own the truth or the flat earth. Nobody does. I don't know who anyone thinks they are. No one does. No one does. All of this information is information that we've gathered over the years. Okay. It's stuff that we have gathered over the years. So yeah, Ricardo. I don't either. I don't either. If the whole thing's about money, I'm seeing they are separating the community so much. There's a join button where you can actually join a page. And then once you actually join the page, right, your comments come up first. So so I've looked on the pages, and all of the YouTubers, are whatever you call them, they are answering back the people that joined their network. They're not even answering the regular questions or any other comments. They're not even answering them. And like I said, that's another point that I want to bring up too. Not answering. Tommy says, Prob is only common sense is needed with regards to flat earth. The debating is flogging a dead horse madness. Yeah, it's been a circle jerk. Yeah. Looking for a target since day one. It has. See, I don't believe that you actually can debate reality. If someone asks you, if you're a boy, can you be a girl? No, you cannot. Reality is not debatable, but people actually really believe that it is. It's not. An action can be debatable. Are we going to pass this law or pass this bill? It can have pros and cons, but it's not debatable. And a lot of people keep thinking that certain things are, like, is the earth debatable? Really, it's not. It's actually not. It's not even in the slightest. Exactly. Truth over comfort. Yeah. And a lot of times it's what these people perceive as being truth. But you know what I found? And I'm going to say this publicly on the record. Most flat earthers and truthers, some of the biggest guys over here, and I'm not trying to sound all, I don't want people thinking that I'm some arrogant. I'm not. I'm just being honest. Most people have no idea what they're talking about certain topics. For example, they live truth. A lot of other people, they claim they read the Bible. Okay, you read the Bible? Okay, and have you actually deciphered the Bible properly, though? Have you actually looked up Strong's? Have you compared the verses? Because that's actually what I'm about to show you all. Okay. This is going to be another quick segment, but I really need people to hear this because I think people are mistaken about something. I don't care if you have somebody left a comment on my network and they said, you talk about those star people over there fighting and stuff when you have the same religion as them. I'm like, dude, I don't know who you think you're talking to. I am not part of that religion. And let me explain so that people understand about the religions overseas there. It is called Judaism. And let me explain something about this, okay? Their religion is a Talmudic religion. You understand? It's Talmud. It's the Zohar. Oh, yeah. And what's the third book? The Kabbalah. No one ever is talking about the Torah. So whenever I mention the Torah, I need people to make sure they understand properly what I am talking about. Okay, because that is before the term Jew. Okay, because like I said already, there was no letter J in the Bible to begin with. So what were the people called of that time? Anybody know? Put it up here. Put it in chat if you actually know. If you don't know, it's fine. This is Galatians 1:13. I want to read it to you real quick so you understand something. 1:13 through 23. For you have heard of my former manner of life in Judaism, how I used to persecute the church of God beyond measure and tried to destroy it. And I was advancing in Judaism beyond many of my contemporaries among my countrymen, being more extremely zealous for my ancestral traditions, which are against the Bible. I was still unknown by sight to the churches of Judea, which were in Christ, but only they kept hearing, he who once persecuted us is now preaching the faith which he tried to destroy. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Paul, guys. Did you guys, have any of you heard that verse before? Where he actually says that he persecuted the church? Yeah, this is the guy claiming to be an apostle. This is the guy who's responsible for writing most of the New Testament. Hey, RV Truth, I got a question. You're up here following the New Testament. Have you heard of the problems of Paul? Oh, no. That's not good, is it? Hold on a sec. Hold on. 1 Corinthians 15, 9 through 10. For I am the least of the apostles and not fit to be called an apostle because I persecuted the church of God. But by grace of God, I am what I am. His grace toward me did not prove vain, but I labored even more than all of them. Yet not I, but the grace of God with me. Hold on a second. I'm not fit to be an apostle. That's Corinthians. I'm going to say this real loud and clear. Paul is not an apostle. He never was an apostle. I could go on and on about how Paul has lied and claimed to be many different things. Many different things. Rez says, when I saw Dave Weiss tell Terry that he was getting a strike for putting out Hibbler's new documentary before he could collect money from everyone. That was it. I seen that. I seen that. That's all that he's worried about is whether or not, he can make some kind of money off of it. Ricardo says, how is God a male? So Ricardo, here's my aspect on it, right? And I wouldn't call it gender. I wouldn't call it gender. Is a term that's been all construed so badly now that where it's like they're taking gender as being sex, but they're trying to use it as what they identify as. Now, like I've told people, they can identify whatever they want to identify as. I'm going to identify them the way I want to identify them. If someone comes up to me and says they want to be Batman and they want me to call them Batman, I'm not going to call them Batman. They can call themselves Batman if they feel like it. That's perfectly fine. So what I'm speaking about when I mention the God of the Christian, rather, God, or the God of the Bible, and this can go in many different aspects to Muslim, or in any, this is across the board. I'm speaking in the terms of, do people know the religion that they claim to be part of? And the answer to that is no. So when I say the Father, I'm talking about the Creator. So I'm talking about the Silver Scrolls. I'm talking about the original text and the ancient Hebrew Bible and the Paleo Hebrew. I'm not actually talking about the King James Version, because the King James Version, and let me correct myself real quick. I did say something wrong because it's been years since I visited and I went back into it. But I said something because they mentioned Jesus in the Bible, and they said that he wasn't hung on a cross. He was actually hung from a tree. And what the people who actually did, all the translators, which they're not supposed to be doing that to begin with, but what ended up happening was they added and took away from all of the scriptural texts. That's what they did. They added their own stuff. All the stuff that has an asterisk or is in parentheses has been added to the Bible. I need people to understand that. So it mentioned in Acts, it said, "Cursed is he who is hung from a tree." What they were trying to do is say that the one without blemish, what Russian vids and everybody would call and reference Jesus, okay, is without blemish. And in the same sense, they're trying to call him a curse. He's not mentioned in the curses of the Bible. So if you were to look up all the curses in the Bible, that's not mentioned, but it's mentioned back there in parentheses in the King James Version. But when you actually go through all the other versions, it's not mentioned in there. See the problem? This is why people need to actually stop trying to debate the Bible when they actually don't know anything about it. Just because you read the Bible doesn't mean you actually understand. So give you another quick example is the Revelation. Revelation is out of order, and it's out of order on purpose. They took all of the Bibles, the books, and they did this on purpose. They took some out. There's tons. There was more commandments other than just 10. But the problem is that people don't understand. And I brought up in some of my older videos. So if you guys want me to do a full deep dive on it, just put it in the in the comments. And I mean, if enough people want me to do it, I'll go over a full deep dive on it. But the whole point is that they've altered all of it. They changed it. The church, the Vatican, admits on their website, and like I said, I pulled it up before. They admit that they changed the commandments. No graven images, stuff like that. And he says, well, Amish, you have, are you guys still hearing me? I want to make sure I'm 5x5. I look like I'm getting some lagging. So give me a comment if you guys can still hear me. And he says, wow, Amish, you impressed me. I didn't even get into this with people. Bible deep cuts. I suppose you know about the essence, and I don't know how to spell Mary. As Child Nazareth. On a plane. Welcome, by the way. Okay, we're all good. Okay. It looks like it's working now. All right. I try not to talk whenever that happens. The Bible shouldn't be a legalese that needs decoded. It should be, well, and here's the thing, on a plane, it is easy to understand. Here's the problem. They screwed with the Bible. So they're making it hard for people to understand. And all it does is it completely turns people off in some ways. You understand what I'm saying? When you alter a text that people believe is the right way, such as the King James Version or whatever, people are reading it and they got their own way of deciphering it because no one is going back to the original. You see what I'm saying on a plane? If you just go back to the original, then you can't deny what it says at that. Bible more or less is like a history book. So I think what people need to understand is that it's just a historical book about what happened years ago. So give you an example. I showed this on some of my old streams. There's multiple Jerusalems. Where's the real Jerusalem, everybody? You guys know this already. It's on the older maps. You guys know where it's at? It's in the Kalahari Desert. These places that these people claim that they're from, Jerusalem, the new star nation, that's not the scriptural locations. That's not. There's no jackals in some of these areas. There's none of this. So I don't understand why people still haven't put this together yet. So when the Bible is mentioning certain things, people need to understand that all of it has been altered. So the only way, whenever I talk about the Bible, I'm talking about the original scripture. I'm not talking about the King James Version. I'm not talking about the New Testament. Gaming Forever says, I'm a space, Deuteronomy. If a man rapes a woman and is caught in the act, he must marry her and can never divorce her. Supports rape of any age. I don't like I said, dude. I haven't went through any of that stuff as far as going through every single verse of certain things, and also who's writing this. You also need to understand who's writing any of this, and half of this stuff comes from added stuff put into the Bible. So you have to actually go back in Strong's and see what it says about that verse. So I'm not actually trying to go through, because I'm not going to do a full Bible breakdown, on some, but people need to understand that many books were taken out of the Bible and other stuff was inserted into the Bible. Anything with an asterisk, anything in the New Testament, all of this. What, like, to give people an example out another one, there's another verse that says, I did not come to do away with the law. So answer me a quick question. Why do all the Christians out here think that Jesus came to do away with the law? Why does everybody believe that they're actually under grace at this point? Why? See what I'm saying? It's because they don't understand what they're even saying. Eric Dubé put out a real decent video, which was Dubé's Gamble, I believe it's called, which I really like, where Dubé was saying, instead of basing everything on just a belief, okay, he believes more on it's your character. It's what you do with your life, not just what you believe. And the problem with Christians is that they actually think that what they believe is the only thing they need in order to try and get into some kind of, and also real quick with the translation thing, names are transliterated, not translated. So all these people talking about God, right here, God, for instance, what's the name of God? Most people don't know. The real name of God written in the ancient Hebrew is Yahuwah. And the name of Jesus written in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahusha. Yet I see tons and tons of people saying Yahweh. Yahweh has a meaning. These things have a meaning. Yahweh means may he cry out. Yahushua or Joshua. Okay. That's the wrong name. Yahushua, that's not the right name. Why am I saying that? Because the meaning of the names. The only reason I'm telling you guys this is because it feels like I have to come back to this topic once every year. When you're speaking in biblical terms, people need to understand, first off, that they have to speak in biblical terms. That's why I hate when people are talking about the Bible and they don't know anything about it. I'm not saying that everybody has to believe everything in the Bible, because the Bible's been edited and altered. They added and took away. Yet every Christian believes that book is the same that it's always been since time memorial, right? All right. Anyway, that was a long rant. Tommy says, I don't trust anything from a king. Exactly. Especially a 33rd degree plus Freemason king. Since when does a king do anything truly good for his serfs and servants? Exactly. I mean, guess what? Guess what I got sitting here? I got a Joe Biden version Bible. Yeah. You know what it says, everybody? The Joe Biden, check this. No, seriously, you guys don't understand this because you don't know it, okay? Joe Biden did release his own version of the Bible, and so did Kanye West. The Book of Jesus. All right, I got Joe Biden's Bible. It says, that's verse 22, okay? Trust me. He's been speaking it ever since he's been in control or seeming to be in control, Genesis chapter 4. That right there is Joe Biden's. I don't understand why people even argue with me when I'm actually talking about the ancient Hebrew Bible and other people are talking about the Greeks. It's like, oh, you read the Bible, did you? Which version? It's absolute nonsense. All right. I got that off my shoulders. I really, really, really wanted to say that. All right, what's happening in the chat? Ricardo says, my girlfriend, her aunt died the other day. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that, Ricardo. Very sorry to hear that. And he says, lost in translation. Yes. As well as hidden and withheld information. See, Annie, I think you understand it completely. You actually you understand. So it's really hard to put together things when there's so much of the nonsense going on. This is one of my main videos that I do that I show here. From Truth Unveiled, who is an absolute legend, always will be. He's put a lot of these together. He has put tons of these together, and they have been informed about you, that you teach all the Yahudim who are among the Gentiles to forsake Musha, saying not to circumcise the children nor walk in accordances to the practices. He's actually talking about traditions here. This is traditions. So this is Saul changing his name to Paul, stuff like that. This guy really breaks this down. I was gonna talk about this, but I might go over this in another video at a different time. I don't think I'm gonna exactly. Tommy says they screwed with our languages as well. Yeah. See, people don't even understand that all of these everyone who's mentioned in the Bible is actually mentioned into the name of the God of the Bible, which is Yahuwah. So whenever somebody's talking about Jesus, for instance, the name is Yahu, Yahu, okay, the Yod He, Vav He, and it would actually be Yahu Shah, Yahu Kanan, which is John. See what I'm saying? Yahushua, which is Joshua. Every person would be in the name of the creator. And now we got Peter, Paul, we got Mark, we got Jonathan. I mean, and then we got the name to be God, which can be anything. That's not even a name. It's not a name. It's not a name. And people don't understand it. They don't understand the importance of that. And then they look at me and go, "Oh, dude, you just hate Christians, or you're this." That has nothing to do with Christianity. Because I think all of the New Testament is completely, I don't discard any information from any religion at all. Religion is one of the biggest deceptions, and mainly because when you look at these old maps and you actually look at the real scriptural location of Jerusalem, the real scriptural location of Sodom and Gomorrah and old Gomorrah, when you look and you know where they really are, you understand that they have done everything they can to hide the true locations of whatever took place years ago in biblical times. And the problem with it today is that all the people like Richie from Boston and the rest of them talking about Mount Sinai, that's not the real Mount Sinai. And we exposed that years ago. Richie from Boston doesn't know that. How many truthers other than me actually know this? I literally have not seen one other person mention that the real Jerusalem is on a different map in a different location in South Africa. I have not seen one other legitimate flat earther actually mention that. Not one. No one. What did I miss here? Because that sounds like a pretty big deal, right? You would think. And he says, my dad learned Hebrew one letter at a time and translated not only the Bible, Apocrypha, and many ancient texts, many articles, academia might like on John Salverda. He himself is very interested. That's good, because that's what we got to do. Because the problem is that people are up here talking about they read this English Bible and that, oh, it's BS and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't think you understand. This is a huge cover up. This is a huge cover up. It's one of the biggest cover ups. It's probably bigger than Flat Earth. Now, of course, there's other people, but history and religion is bigger than Flat Earth. Whether people believe it or not, it's bigger than Flat Earth. It is the cause of all the wars now, the lies of history, the lies of everything. Yeah. My Ethiopian friend at work knows this. Yeah, it is. It is. People have actually showed the location. The animals mentioned in the scripture are not even over where they say Jerusalem is. Come on. This is why people don't believe any of it, because people read the Bible and then they look and go, this don't make any sense, right? Know what I mean? Jennifer says, I wish I could stay, but I have to go for a bit, but I'll be back in a few. And I'm glad I got to listen live finally. You're awesome, and I love you. I am so proud of you. Well, thank you. So one of the last topics, hold on. Ricardo says, people fight about which religion is right. Yeah. And I agree. Look, and my thing, I think it's designed that way. Religion really actually, by definition, which is what Truth Unveiled actually exposes, right? He actually exposes this. Religion is for division. It means division. That's why when I talk about the Bible, or I talk about this type of stuff, this is not for division here. This is to inform people of what reality is. So when I'm mentioning the Bible, I'm using it as a history book. I want people to actually go and say, okay, there's Damascus. That's not right. That's not right. There's Jerusalem. That's not right. So is this where Moses took the people through? How is this possible if they're this far this way or that way? That's not right. And I want people to realize, oh, this is Mount Sinai. No, it's not. None of the other locations in the Bible are even near where they say Mount Sinai is. This guy here, Chris from Truth Unveiled, actually goes through and actually shows you scripturally where the location of these are and on these maps. And he has multiple witnesses to establish each point. There are no other truthers out there that's doing it like this. You guys got to understand that. I've been searching and searching, and I still have hardly found these people that actually break it down to the point where I can't out debate these people, because there's nothing for me to say. I can't say, oh, no, you're wrong. Okay. And it says here in scripture, you're debating scripture, and it says in scripture that I'm right. I can't out debate them. So that's my issue, is that people are reading this with their own interpretations, and the translations have been off. So when someone comes up to me and they go, yeah, I read the Bible, dude. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. No, you really don't. In this video right here, Chris actually goes through and compares to show that Paul is lying. On his Road to Damascus account, he was lying. He said in one verse, and I'm quoting, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go through it. This is the last thing I'm going to speak on it, though. He said in one verse that he could see, that he couldn't see anyone, but he could hear the voice, speak to him. And the people with him could not see, but they could hear the voice. Then in the very next verse, he says the opposite. He said that they did not hear the voice. And then he says it again. He contradicts himself 3 times. And that's all you got to do is go through and actually look at these in Strong's. And then you actually start to actually see what people are talking about. But people don't do this. They look at the Bible and go, oh, yeah, okay, I guess it's right. No, it's not right. If you look at all of these other translations, you start to understand, oh, wait. Okay. I'm interpreting this wrong because the translators made it that way. And now everybody hates the Bible. And now everybody's fighting, as Ricardo mentioned. Now people are fighting about which religion is right, because all they did was they altered everything. What do I think the closest religion is? I would say it would be, to historical points, I would put it into the Torah. And that's just me. I would not say that somebody who comes down here, wherever, to earth, claiming to be Jesus, doing miracles on CNN, I don't know if you really want to put your faith in that person. Well, whenever the Star people declare that the Messiah want to declare, because they don't like Christianity, by the way. And the Babylonian, I shouldn't even be talking about it, because they will pull my video and give me a strike if I keep mentioning it. But it's just my point. So whenever people are sitting here trying to actually talk about something, I want people to understand that just because you got a King James Version Bible doesn't mean you actually know what you're talking about. You do have to look up Strong's, and you have to double check it with other instances in the Bible to make sure that the word that you're saying, the word origin and the root of it, is actually what it says it is. Okay. A lot of people were trying to say a cross because it was made of wood. No, they said a tree and they meant tree. And they also mentioned wood. Okay. This is undisputable. All right. Anyway, let's move on, everyone. One of the last topics I wanted to mention was this system here we got going on, which is the modern day debate channel. Why has Flat Earth, anybody know this? Why has Flat Earth turned into such a insane monetized? What happened? What happened to Flat Earth? What happened? Why has it turned into what it is now? T-Jump versus Witsit. Witsit gets into these streams, and you know what he does? He lets them circle jerk all the way around. You know? Ricardo says, I actually love people who are religious as long as they don't push it on me. Yeah, I agree. I like people who are religious as long as they understand that a religion is only a belief system. So when people say they're atheists, I want people to understand that's a religion, right? Atheism is the belief in no supernatural. But what the kind gentleman over at Nathan Oakley's squad, Quantum Eraser and the rest of them proved that the supernatural does exist through the Quantum Eraser double slit delayed choice experiment, all of those, okay? Information is supernatural. So it's actually a trichotomy. It's not a forced dichotomy. It would be between the natural, the man-made or synthetic, and the supernatural. So people are using intelligent agency, which would be intelligence or information, which is supernatural by definition. They're using their own thoughts to try and say, they're using their own intelligence to say that there is no intelligence, is basically what they're trying to say. What we're saying is that they're provable. There has to be a knower. If there's no knower, nothing can exist. So when you look up the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, you start to actually see what's going on. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because here's the problem with these debates, and I'm rounding this off, but here's the problem with all this. Witsit believes that light is a ray or a wave. Here's the problem. How can you have a legitimate conversation with a person who doesn't understand that light is a photon, that it's a particle? How can you have everything they say at that point means that they will never be able to understand what you're saying? The reason that Witsit gets destroyed in all of these debates is because this isn't a real debate network. They're allowing people to hand wave past things, and they're not holding them to task when they say something wrong. So whenever I see people and they start talking and then they say, oh, yeah, the light rays have to. No. When they start talking about refraction, how many times have we heard refraction? Nathan Oakley and them already pointed out that you actually have to have multiple medium. Okay, it has to go from two different types of media. They pointed out that you have to have also an atmosphere. What's the problem with the word atmosphere? What's the problem with the word air sphere? Anybody know? I mean, it's pretty simple. Gases don't have any inherent shape, period. They're not. There's no such thing as an atmosphere. There's no such thing. There is no gas sphere. They don't have shapes. You guys know this. How many times have you lit a cigarette and it formed a perfect basketball? So here's the problem, is that they're wrong on multiple accounts, and they're also wrong on the radius of Earth, which that's why we point out the black swan. But when you deal with people like Witsit, and you deal with other people just like him, whether it's Witsit, whether it's Flatzoid, I don't care who it is, these people don't like to actually bring up the arguments that destroy the globe and completely remove the R value, the radius, which completely destroys the invoked terrestrial refraction. Because they also, they don't know all the types of refraction. Like if I ask somebody right now, what's the 5 types of refraction? Let's go. See what I'm saying? And they need to define each one. And that's the issue, I think. Ricardo says, I've been a moderator for monetized flat earth channels and I finally figured it out. Truth is free. It is. It is. Tommy says, it's become entertainment. Modern day soap operas, another world. General Hospital, As the World Turns, Jerry Springer for Truthers. Hey, Tommy. Judge Jerry. All right. All right. You know, you say the Honorable Jerry. Same bastard that has strippers on, the Honorable Jerry. All right. He has strippers and stuff on his show. All right. No, look, dude. And by the way, I don't have a problem with Whitsitt at all. I just don't like that he ignores reality. And that gets into my other point. When I say problem, I'm talking about with him. I don't hate this guy. It's not that I don't necessarily like him or whatever. It's just when people are talking about something, right? You have to acknowledge it. You can't just, Nathan Oakley and them have brought this up to them many times, and he refuses to acknowledge what they're saying, and he refuses to debunk it. What I tell people all the time is that don't bring up something to attack me. Debunk what I'm saying. If I'm showing you in scripture, since you want to talk about Bible, for instance, if I'm showing you in scripture where it says in scripture that what I'm saying is correct, you need to show me 3 more times in scripture where it says I am not correct, and then point out how that was completely incorrect and was a lie inserted into the Bible. The problem is that people can't do that. So they're just going off of what they actually believe. So they go, oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like you're wrong, Amish. You got to understand. Like the whole ether situation. Let's let it go. We can't sit here and talk about extra land beyond Antarctica. We can't do that. We can't sit around and talk about stuff that we can't prove. We're trying to wake the world up. And the only way you're going to be able to wake the world up is to actually put some information in here that people can go out and understand and do themselves, Yeah. Ricardo says they feel like celebrities now. Yeah, 1,000,000%. They do. They think that they're celebrities. And it's been nothing but a money racket. All these people do is shoot after money. And that's the reason he's on these networks and doing these debates. And he's actually losing these debates. You know why he's losing? Simple, plain. When you're in a debate, these are rules. These are rules for every debate. Never, ever. And I'll put my name on the line, okay? If Nathan Oakley actually sees this and he says I'm wrong, just lay it on me, okay? Never let them change topics. You hold them to task until they admit or concede. You do not sit here and start off something with, oh yeah, did you know? You can't bring up, refraction because, refraction is this. And then they say, no, refraction is not this. No, it is that. Andrew Thomas Young. Oh, it is that. Here's the definition of the word. You will concede or the debate is over and you will lose in a very shameful manner. This is not an area for you to come here and show your feelings. No one cares about your feelings. But I feel like my definition is more right. It's not about that. It's what the definition is. I can't find the debate, but I wanted to show you all. But it was a debate between this guy, Flatzoid, and another guy. And he came in with his opening statement saying, definitions can be contradictory to each other. No, they cannot. Tori says, facts. What's up, Tori? All right. Am I still here, guys? I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a lag. Am I still 5 by 5 by 10 by 20? Red November, welcome, says still most swerve and won't entertain the electric or magnetic aspect. Why? Why can't they move on from repeating level Earth and push forward? So when you mention the electric and magnetic aspect, what aspect are you mentioning? Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Red November, what aspect are you mentioning about? If I start breaking up, let me know. We know that magnetism's real, but what electric magnetic aspect? See, whenever I talk about Earth, right, I talk about measuring Earth. So when someone wants an R value to derive all of their stuff on, whether it is gravity, whether it is refraction, the black swan debunks the radius of Earth. Irrefutable. Why wouldn't you start with that? And then when they want to get into their little space stuff, the second law of thermodynamics completely debunks that. Don't ever let them move. They can't move. They don't have a radius. They don't have refraction. They don't have space. So when they sit here and try, the only thing they want is, what about eclipses? What about the sun and the moon and the stars? What about space? What about Jupiter's moons? What about, shut up. What about the shape of Earth? What's measurable? As Ricardo just said, water always finds its level. Now, what do they say? Level's curved. All that they keep doing is lying and switching everything because they don't understand that level is straight. Same as Nathan Oakley and them have been bringing up to people. How are you actually getting an elevation angle on a curved Earth? If you have a curved angle, there's no such thing. If you have a curve, you can't form an angle because the curve is getting wider and wider. The angle is continuous. It's not an angle. You can't get an elevation angle on a curve. It has to be a flat horizontal line. Level. I guess people are thinking that there's no, and people misunderstand this too. When people say flat, we don't mean that there are no hills, mountains, or any of that nonsense. We're saying that it's not a curved ball because there is no curvature. We've been looking for curvature for years, and everybody says it's there. Just like you guys mentioned earlier, if the Bible is so easy to understand, why is it complicated? Because that's what the liars of the world do. They complicate things that are very simple. And it's very simple when you put it in terms of how I put it, right? Everything's a particle, which it is, provably. And nobody on here is a qualified individual to be able to debunk that statement I just said, especially when the people who are the experts and the Nobel Prize winners in that topic have already said this. I have watched Quantum Eraser and many other people actually show the works of Karl Popper in order to debunk evolution. Yet there's random people up and down the road who thinks that they're qualified and speaking in some kind of area in here to speak out against people who are actually demonstrating proof that it's not real. That's what gets on my nerves. So this is the guy that really gets on my nerves really bad, by the way. I don't even know his name because he irritates me. But as you guys mentioned earlier, this whole modern day debate thing and the whole debate world has turned into a cesspool. This dude is literally next to an OnlyFans girl debating whether or not it's exploitative. And I'm like, dude, this isn't even a debate. These are other things that they keep bringing into our reality, whether it's trying to debate what we observe, a flat earth, which is not debatable, or whether or not digital prostitution is okay, knowing that it's not, knowing that, I think the dumb girl said something about, if somebody did a study on it, I don't care if somebody did a study. What does your study say? Guess what? I did a study too. You think somebody cares? If it's not scientifically proven, I don't want to hear it. Do you have a scientific experiment or even an experiment with the 3 constituent parts? A dependent, an independent, a control variable? Have you even formulated a hypothesis properly? And you think I care about what experts say or studies show? Screw your study. Take your study, turn it sideways. You know where you can shove it? You think I care about a study? Studies show that, you can be 75 years old with an OnlyFans still getting money. You think that doesn't have an effect on society? These aren't even debates. And for some particular reason, people still feel as if they are debates. Capitalism versus socialism. Do you all think that's a debate? It's not. It is not a debate. It's not a debate. Capitalism versus socialism. Capitalism versus communism. You think that's a debate? It's not. Christianity versus atheism. You think that's a debate? It's not. It's 2 religions. Know what I mean? Ricardo says, always try to go back to your common sense. Exactly. Problem is now, common sense has become uncommon. So now we're looking at a world that's completely lost its mind. Look at this. Atheism versus Muslim. Atheism versus Christian. These are the same guys milking. You know what I mean? Look at this. These guys are not able to win because every time that Nathan Oakley and them try and show them how to properly do a real debate and shut people down right at the source, they don't listen to any of it. So some people ask me why I didn't debate. Like I said, I debated Fight the Fat Girth. I debated him like before I even opened up my channel here, by the way. It's been years ago. Okay. And I held him to task. I didn't let him move. I wasn't as good as I am now with understanding science and stuff like that. But I destroyed him. I showed that picture that he had was nothing but compression, and it was nonsense. And like I said, I got sucked into a little bit of that, but he did try. He showed me a picture of the sun, and he's like, "What's this? You know what this is? And you know what a picture of the moon is?" And I stopped him. I said, "I don't care about the sun, moon, or the stars. We're not talking about that. We are debating the picture. Bring it back up, and that's all." And I made him put the picture on screen the entire time, and we stayed on the picture. And he did not want to, get around it or let go of it. But I don't care what you want. I'm not, and I shut him down the entire time for like 2.5 hours. It was actually a pretty good debate, if you ask me. These guys start off on a topic, and the next thing you know, they're debating. Who was it? Was it Sean Hawkins? I think it was Sean Hawkins or something. Here it is. Are OnlyFans creators economically exploiting customers, which they are. And this guy, by the way, right here, he actually pays OnlyFans. Like, he's subscribed to somebody on OnlyFans. See, they wouldn't let me on here anyway, because I would tell people, why don't you just go on one of the websites where you can just hack all their videos and pictures if you actually are so sexually frustrated that that's something that you need to do. Okay. Why are you paying them money for exploiting culture? You know what I mean? So they wouldn't want me on there. No way. Because hashtag Amish stands with hacking OnlyFans. Period. Ricardo says, before you go to school as a child, you learn with your own common sense before you get indoctrinated. Right. And kids can see it. And as the indoctrination happens, what I've realized is that now all these people, right? All of these people now have a belief system, and their belief system is completely wrong. Lights are waves. That's their entire belief system. Now, in order to show someone that they're wrong about something, you have to first unprogram them from their false belief in light waves to show them a whole different set of science that they're not going to be able to understand. That's why I say trying to talk to Witsit, you're never going to get it. He's never going to get it because he's too deep. He's too deep. He's too invested, and he can never get it. So that's over at that point. You know what I mean? So, and this is why flat Earth is not going to get anywhere, because it's been 100 years. And we pulled up, how long ago has it been? Didn't we pull up some of the newspapers from 100 years ago? And people were, Bolivar and the rest of them with these debates. And 100 years later, we're still talking about flat Earth. You know why? Because until Jaron realizes reality, until the biggest guys who are controlling, the biggest disinformation agents, which they all are, until they wake up, we're never going to get through. So what I'm hoping for, by the way, okay, is I want to see this debate. And I would have I wish I could be part of it, but I can't. And I don't think I can even find it. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. I wish I could be part of this debate. It would be nice. I don't think I can even find it, dude. This sucks, man. People have their channels kind of set up really weird. I've been trying to set mine up to show the latest videos. And every time that I'm on these guys' channels, it's never their videos in order. I mean, like 3 years ago, 6 months ago. Anyway, it is it's Pastor Odell. He's actually going to be debating. He's going to be debating Pastor Locke, I believe his name is. Greg Locke. Where this guy kind of acted he actually acted a little bit psychotic. I can't even find it. I'm sorry. I normally pull this up before the stream, but just for the sake of it. But basically, this guy really just went off completely. David Weiss, I think, might have, and he's also putting up a lot of stuff from Eric Dubé, I've noticed.
I'm telling you, God is not going to compromise truth.
Now, real quick, the reason why David Weiss is putting this up here is because, by the way, just to mention, hey, what's up, Into? The reason he's putting this up here, by the way, is because he wants to be involved in this because this guy has millions of subscribers. So now Flat Earth is actually going to be brought up on a bigger stage here. But I'm sure he wants to get up there so that, you know, deep inside the rabbit hole, David Wimpy Weiss, as they live would Russian vids would call him. He wants to get up here so that he can boost up his subscribers. He wants more people to be on this Zodiac clock app and stuff. You know, this is what he wants. Ricardo says, it was hard for me to get past my indoctrination. When I finally did, I see everything and everyone different. Me too. We live in a completely different world. It is a completely different world, you know? I wanted to meet David. It's not that David is a bad person. It's just that he is showing who he is. He's just a disinformation agent. He's just doing it just for, and he doesn't care. I think a lot of these people just aren't smart enough to know that they're actually causing harm. I'm not even going to hate on Pastor Greg Locke because he's putting this out. If he's actually got the cojones, okay, to actually debate this live for millions of people, good on him. He won't bring Eric Dubé.
I'm done. They about to unhook our friend, and so I'm going no holds barred. Y'all ready? Shout ready.
Ready.
Oh, some of you ain't, and you just said you were. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If they were going to unhook you tomorrow, I promise you, you would not be fussing over what shape the earth is. I'm sick of that flat earth nonsense.
That's the only thing that actually matters if they're about to unhook you from life support, And before my mom passed, I made sure that she knew a lot of this stuff. A lot, by the way.
Help me, Isai. I'm about to throw this thing.
Yep.
Stop. I'm sick.
And real quick, Ricardo, the reason the church is stealing money is because church isn't mentioned in the Bible, by the way. Church is not mentioned in the Bible. And tithes with money also goes against the Bible. It's about tithes with food.
Sick of this flat earth, round earth, square earth, triangle earth.
Triangle.
I don't care.
Look,
I don't care.
Amish Space Station is declaring it here. We are on a biscuit earth. It's a little bit chubbier down at the bottom.
Don't care. Did I just say I don't care? Shut that mess up. Nobody cares about those stupid YouTube videos.
I do. God.
Stop. Okay. Look at them beige socks I got on.
Tommy says they have handlers. Flat fests were held in Masonic halls and temples. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that actually crazy that Karen B and the rest of them, those people are legitimate shills. And Eric Dubé called them out years ago. Two says, what an act. I know, man. He really, look, this is cringe. This is really cringe because, he's tearing it up. His son came home, he said, and tried to show him the truth of the earth. And that was it. That was that. After he's seen it was affecting his child, he's like, no, I'm going to write a church check. I'm going to take your money that you given me and give somebody $30,000 if you don't speak for me. Not making a church check. I would have had to get up on stage. He would have had to have security. Hey, security, we got them Amish guys coming up here. I'd have rolled a horse up there.
All right, y'all asked for it, okay? I'm just saying, I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I don't.
Oh yeah, and she acts like it too. These people have no knowledge at all. Karen B would, I would destroy Karen B and any of those people in a debate at all about their nonsense. She does an anti-religious Bible scripture study. Dude, what do you know about the Bible? You don't even know the names of the Bible, let alone. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. I mean, these people are embarrassments. Karen B is an embarrassment to the flat earth and needs to be kicked out. Mark Sargent needs to be kicked out, ran out. Okay? Let me go to one of those little flat fests. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to kick me out of there, dude. Because I've had it with them. I've had it with all of them.
Don't care about biblical cosmology. There is no such thing. That's man-made. There is one verse in the Bible.
See, and he doesn't even realize as well. This is the last thing, by the way. Biblical cosmology. Cosmology in general. Okay. Technically, there is no cosmology at all. Okay. But it's amazing to me how people don't even realize that it's people in the church that came up with this astronomy cosmology that everybody tries to use here that aren't even real science.
Bible that proves you are absolutely positively 1000% wrong. It is theological, and you make God a liar if you believe in flat earth.
So he really acted like a monkey here is my point. I mean, he acted like a complete monkey. Talking about God and proving God a liar and all that other nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. Carter says, I'll never go to a Flattoberfest ever again. Who pays for truth, which you already know? Exactly. And what they're doing is they're milking. They want to milk everything. That's the goal. That's the goal. So I am going to declare it, okay? And that's just me. All these people are all shills. They're liars. They don't know the Bible. They don't understand scripture at all. They don't understand the New Testament and the lies and the problems of the New Testament and the grace and lying about Jesus destroying the law. When it says that if you actually love the creator, then you keep the law. But the problem is with people is that they make up everything. They do it all on their own. They make up everything and they decide what they want to believe, what they don't want to believe. And that's what they've always been doing. All these guys from Mark Sargent to Karen B to everybody at this Flattoberfest and all these people that just steal people's money, make these apps, get people to scan their QR codes, get people like Jaron to put a whole bunch of money in cryptocurrency, which is going to be the end of all of our lives and all of our financial freedom, cryptocurrency. And it's amazing how most of it has completely erased off of the face of the earth. I mean, I don't even hear that many people even talking about that anymore. And it's shocking. It's shocking. They're all shells. Daniel Pratt put out a couple funny videos too, by the way. He did call some people out about this, the 3 World Wars by Albert Pike that I just did a live stream on. He didn't mention my name, so it's all good. But I did cover that already, so don't want to hear it. Tori says, yeah, I paid for True Earth Summit and realized I just paid to know what I already know. And the whole audience already knew. So what was it for other than money? Exactly. And, there's also these guys, by the way, Martin Leak and all these guys. These guys have done nothing but use other people's. Do you know who you are? These people have done nothing but use other people's work. And they're putting out all these documentaries and all these things. This is Max Egan and them. They all been like hanging with each other. So and the only reason I mentioned is because I've mentioned Max Egan and I got a little issue with everything that Max Egan says regarding flat earth is because flat earth is one of the things that when you wake up to the reality of the world, there is understand that water is level, when you understand that you can see for miles and miles, 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, 40 miles, that it's literally impossible for that to actually happen on a globe at all. and that there is no curvature whatsoever. But these people have done nothing but do all of these weird tours where they're putting out these books for people to buy that don't really say anything. None of these books say anything. These people, you know, when it comes to what's his name, Archaics and the rest of them, I don't know how we got this far off. I don't know how we got this far off. Everything seemed like it was good, and slowly everybody just started. You know, I think what Martin Lika was trying to do, yeah, Four Horsemen, exactly. And I think what they're trying to do, I guess I don't know if this is Cheryl or whoever it is that was on. She might have been on my page here a little while ago. I think I ran her off here because I'm so mean to people that she loves. I just call people out for what they are, and this to me is a scam. Campbell from Autodidactic has made his appearance there as well. And I used to listen to a lot of these guys, but here's the thing. These people don't know what real history is. Okay. They don't know what real history is. And a lot of them don't even know what they're looking at. How many times has John Levi pulled up the Kalahari Desert and showed all these places and had no clue that that's actually where Jerusalem is? And he didn't even mention it. These people are looking at all these ancient pyramids and they have no idea what they even are. I'm not saying that I'm the smartest guy in the world, and I don't want to sound arrogant or pig-headed or anything like that, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is their area of expertise, okay? And if these people can't even actually do the proper research, and here's my issue, and this is the last thing I wanted to mention. This is the problem, is that I have mentioned this to Martin Lika and to Cheryl and to all these people all the time. And they decide I'm not going to answer back to this guy's emails. Amish, I'm not going to answer back to Amish. Nathan Thompson, oh, you're not going to chat here anymore on my chat, you know, because you're talking about Jesus and I'm not going to have it. You're not going to be disrespecting. I can't even give these people any information for them to even listen to, because they've decided, like Jaron and the rest of these controlled opposition people, that they're not going to listen to what you got to say no matter what. You can kick and scream and rage against the dying of the light, okay? But they will not listen to what you got to say. And they have openly admitted that they will not even listen to any of the hit pieces. I brought up this video here because later on in this video, David Weiss lies on camera again and says that RV Truth says that Russian vids cut him off before he could answer this question and say back to, you know, that weird guy, Logan Paul, about his he doesn't have a picture of his intestines. RV Truth didn't cut him off. It actually cut off right there when he was sucking his lips, because he said that there's no pictures of Earth. And Logan Paul out-debated him and said, I don't have pictures of my intestines, but I know they're real. You see what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Martin Lika is bad news, dude. I thought these guys were cool. I really looked up to these guys. And the only person besides Eric Dubé, I mean, honestly, it's only been a couple awesome guys. Nathan Oakley is absolutely amazing. I only got to chat in comments with Sleeping Warrior briefly. He's awesome. And Eric Dubé, beyond awesome. These guys, they don't even bother answering you because they're too famous and they don't care what you got to say. Okay? Even Campbell from Autodidactic, same thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I love the guy. I love Campbell. I thought he was amazing in general. But these people are not putting out any legitimate understanding. And we're never going to figure out history.
Well, I had fluffy stuff, right? Yeah. I was really fucking excited. Yeah. Got in there thinking I got fluffy stuff. Yeah. It's stuff, but it's not fluffy. Not quite fluffy. It's soft.
I mean, I don't know what these guys are doing. I don't know what they're doing. This is like stuff that you would do if you smoked at least 2 onions, okay? Like you're high out of your head, and you're sitting in a car on some Dazed and Confused with Matthew McConaughey. Like, all right, they're not fluffy, but you can ride with me if you want. They are. Absolute insanity. Tori says, is Russian Vid still around? I only see his old YouTube stuff. Where do I find him? Yeah, look. And just to show you guys, right? I'm not a bad dude, okay? I had an issue and I told Russian Vids off, okay? This is Russian Vids' new channel. It's They Live Truth, okay? I even shout him out on here. I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with him only believing in just the Jesus stuff, okay? And putting out, and I do. Hey, by the way, I do agree that Russian Vids is a show, 100%. I think that all these guys are, and they're all fighting with each other. And the thing is that they're attacking it from different angles. Here's the thing about it. Russian Vids has put out a lot of truth, and I think everybody here has a brain. And if Tori, for instance, wanted to actually check out his content, which I do, I check out everybody's content, even Shill's content, because I need to know what these people are doing as a reporter like I am. That's what I do. I want to expose anybody. I don't care who it is. If it's Bill Gates, I'm going to talk about him. Okay. If it's the last president, I'm gonna talk about him. If it's David Weiss, I'm gonna talk about him. If it's They Live Truth, that's just the way it is. But I do agree. I think RV is a shill, period. I got issues with him. I got issues with him heavily. Yeah. Riley has been he's pretty smart, man. That dude's no joke. That dude's no joke. But this is what I'm talking about people just being absolute lunatics.
So what happens when you eat it? I mean, you're getting disappointed.
It's not the same thing. It's fluffy stuff. It's just stuff. I'm taking it back. It tastes like chemically. Chemical. It tastes like chemicals. Then I get another pack and I can get the chemically brothers.
What did he say? Did he say it tastes like chemtrails?
I'm taking it back. It tastes like chemically. Chemical. It tastes like chemicals. Then I get another pack and I can get the chemically brothers.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. These people are acting like they're smart, like we're the ones that's supposed to be actually buying the books. Why would you read anything from this guy? From honestly, why? You can't just sit, okay? Because like I told you guys already, I do a lot of work outside of here. I just don't document everything. I hardly even take pictures of myself, okay? I do a lot of stuff outside of online. These people are just sitting behind their monitors, looking at mud-flooded buildings, trying to say that something happened a while ago. Okay, good job. I'm happy that you figured that out, bro. Good. Now, is there anything else that you can offer me that can actually improve my day-to-day life? No, I suppose not. These people have truly let me down. Tommy says, I thought Lika was half cool too until he teamed up with the weirdo Grapus in Texas. True colors shine through. Money making flat earth look bad as well. Bought his 2 books and Ren and Stimpy 101. Yeah, these people, that's the problem. They're identifying with flat earth. Like who's the other guy that opened up an OnlyFans? What's his name? Paul Cook. Psychopath. Absolute psychopath. I mean, what happened? What happened? I mean, isn't it insane? Look at this cancer after the V right here. This is stuff I was talking about 3 years ago. And now this Dr. John Campbell dude is coming in here trying to take all the credit, whoever this piece of trash is. Like, oh, yeah, you're helping people. You're helping people so much. Yeah, good job, bud. You saved so many people's lives, including my mom's, Oh, yeah, you're so amazing. You did so much work. I'm really happy you're allowed to come on here and get 1 million views talking about cancer after somebody has already shot themselves with something. Good job. Good job. Yeah, I don't know what happened to all these people. Here's the thing. If I was hanging out, if you guys ever see me and I actually hang out with the Crow House, Max Egan. Max Egan will be a flat earther by the end of the day hanging with me, or we will never hang out again. Because denying reality is my line in the sand. And you will not. You will not tell me that you can get on a plane and somehow riding on a plane or taking a flight proves flat earth. It does not. No flights at all prove anything other than flights. Okay? We're not talking about that fake conservation of momentum and whether or not we're on multiple with the Coriolis nonsense. No, because people don't even understand it to begin with. The ground's either moving under you or it isn't. Period. That's why I had to deal with the stupid upward rising earther retards. You know what I'm saying? And that was horrible. Imagine yourself being inside of a freaking terrarium and a guy is lifting it up. Okay. Retard. That's flat earth society nonsense, which I pointed out in the show, in the live stream from 10 years ago. So don't want to hear it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you all for joining. Leave me some comments, by the way, on what you guys think. If you do want to take a look at this, this is called exactly. Learn the heliocentric model. Then you can learn the lies. Exactly. We know the heliocentric model better than they know their own model. Isn't that insane? Isn't it insane? So I want to know what you guys think about that, because I want to I really wanted to do, I'm out of time, but I did want to do 30 minutes right here on this video with the problems with Paul. But if you guys are interested and you want to see some of the problems with Paul in general, like you want to see how he lied about the unclean spirits and like this one, and he fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him, Saul, why do you persecute me? And he said, who are you, master? And master said, I am Jesus, the one who you persecute. It is hard for you to kick against the prods. Both trembling and being astonished, he said, Master, what do you wish me to do? And the master said to him, arise and go into the city, and you shall be told what you have to do. And the men journeying with him stood speechless, hearing indeed the voice, but seeing no one. And what he's saying here, these are actual scriptures, by the way. Those men with him then, okay, Paul actually says that the men did not hear the voice. He says they heard the voice, and then he says they didn't hear the voice. Men, brothers, fathers, hear my defense before you now. And when they heard that he spoke to them in the Yehudith language, okay, the Hebrew, not the Jewish, I don't know where that comes from, they kept greater silence and said, I am indeed Yahudi. I have been born in Tars. This is where he claims that he is Yahudi. And he also claims he's a Pharisee. Okay? You guys got to understand. People are up here talking all this stuff about the Bible. This is why I really, really want to go into here, because this actually shows you that this dude claims to be Yahudi. He claims to be a Pharisee. He claims to be this. He's like 10 different types of people is what he claims to be, all in the same verses. Okay? We obviously see that this has been altered, and Paul has been lying. He's lied about being a apostle as well, which he's not, and nobody cares. The church just takes it like nothing. See what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. Ricardo says, take care, everyone. And Amish, thank you for your live. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you, my friend, for moderating everything, keeping everything good. Appreciate it. And where anointing oil is cannabis. Yeah. I have done a little bit of research into like cannabis in general, as far as the plant itself, not smoking it under any circumstances, but actually using it as a healing thing, like with tryptophan and other things like that. It's been yeah. I've heard all of it. I have. I got to see when I can get around to doing a lot of this. But yeah, if you guys are really interested in this and you want me to start like showing you how they altered the Bible and stuff, and you want to go over a lot of this stuff, we can. I don't want people to think this is not a Christian network, but I do want to show the issues with some of it. Yeah, Christ and Christos and stuff. Anointed. Yeah. I now, but I There's a lot. There's tons. So these are Russian icon depictions of Christ. And you'll actually see, you see this? You see this? You see the initials and you see the symbols here? And you always see him depicted with a sun. And everywhere you go, you will see a sun depicting all of this. And it's also, and you also see a skin color in here as well, which he has a depiction. I don't argue over the skin color. You also see this hand symbol, and you see the hand sign here that all of the Jesus photographs depicts. This is a very important symbol. And also Krishna, for instance, whenever you get depictions of Krishna, you get the sun behind Krishna as well. But every time that you actually try and depict any of these deities, they're always, you can see here, they always have a sun behind them right here. And it's the same right here, the sun here, the sun here, the sun here. All of this is for the same thing. You see, all this religion has been hijacked. And I know it's hard for people to understand this, but all of it has been hijacked. And every time you see these depictions of Christ, of any of this, there's always a sun depicted behind them, and these symbols as well. This cross of Tammuz, which actually he wasn't crucified on a cross, he was hung on a tree, as it says in Acts. And I told people this many times. Okay, the scripture shows that he was hung on a tree. He was not crucified on a cross. All of this right here, and what these signs actually mean. A lot of people don't know what these symbols actually are. Look at this symbol. Look at this symbol. And you can see the symbol. And you can also see this. This is what the real mark of the beast actually is. This is the symbol that was mentioned in the Bible that was seen. This is what's written in the Sefer Bibles. If you actually want to know what, this is actually, that's the codex right there, AD 350. This is the symbol that was seen. It wasn't 660 and 6. This is what the 666 actually is. This is what was seen. It's the number of a man. Now, I'm not going to get into this right now because this is going to rub people the wrong way. Okay. But yeah, here's the symbol. Why can't I bring that up? Sorry, I can't bring it up. It's not working. Boris. But this is some really, really heavy stuff right here. But the mark of the beast isn't a chip, and the mark of the beast isn't any of that 666, and it's not a barcode or any of that. The mark of the beast is this right here. This is the mark of the beast. This is what was revealed. It's actually the mark of the beast in the clouds there. This is the symbol. This is the symbol that they actually put into the clouds. That's the symbol right there. So on that NASA photograph in the clouds where it says they wrote sex, they actually didn't write sex. They actually wrote this, but you got to put it right up next to it and you'll see it in the clouds. But yeah, this is the real mark of the beast. And look at the symbols. I can't get into it now because this will take 2 hours, and people are going to get angry and start saying that I'm being blasphemous and all this stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, we can do a stream on that. It's going to rub people the wrong way. But if you are going to do it, y'all are going to have to stick around. Okay. I'm not going to do no 3-hour stream for y'all to quit right in the middle. All right. Because it's really heavy. It's really heavy. And it's going to hurt some feelings. But this is what I believe that the mark of the beast actually is, based on what it says here. Okay. Based on what the symbol actually is. Based on like you just seen the AD 350. Okay. So we go way, way back to the original scrolls that all of this stuff is written based off of. Okay. In AD 350. All right. That's the mark of the beast, not 666, because English wasn't even around back then. And Greek, no one cares about the Greek. We're talking about the ancient Hebrew. That's what the Bible. But yeah. Who says that? Tori says we need that stream. I'll do it. We can do it. We can do that stream, man. I might split it up in 2 sections, 2 2-hour streams. Yeah, and they actually translated it to Arabic as well. That's the thing. But this is the symbol. See, the reason the symbol is important is because this is what was seen. So if you were to look at it in terms of English, you will see 666. You're not going to know what that is. See what I'm saying? You're not going to know what it is because it's in English. So that's why it's important to see the mark of the beast for yourself. Now tell me, where else have you seen this? See what I'm saying? And actually we can go into what these symbols mean. And then once you decode what each symbol means, you're like, holy shit. It's so dark. It really is. That there's no other way to explain it. When you decode, everything has meaning, except English, of course, you know. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. So if you guys are up for that, I ask people to open their minds. It doesn't mean that, you know, you can be a Christian and listen at this stream and have no issue with it. Because like I said, I don't follow a religion. I just follow the creator. Okay. And that's pretty much it, you know? Oh yeah. Yeah. This is something that just, they won't hear it. Alive and well, they won't hear it. If I show Russian vids this, holy shit, man. He'll start attacking me the way he was attacking Eric Dubé. They'll call me a heretic. They'll say I'm going straight to hell. They'll say that I have been blaspheming. Like, they will not let it go. If Nathan Thompson sees this, he would never let it go. Some people are such big Christians that as soon as you start mentioning the Bible and you start mentioning the truth, oh no, man. No. You start showing these symbols here. Oh no. That's a no. That's not something that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Showing this is a no. This is a no. But yeah. If you guys haven't heard of that, I'd love to do it. I say we get into it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. And it's not this is for clarity. Like I don't want to preach to anyone. I want to show everyone what the mark of the beast is. When you see what the mark of the beast is, you're not going to like it. But I want to show you what the mark of the beast is based on what it says. Could I be wrong? Everybody could be wrong, but I'm telling you what the symbol is, what symbol was seen based on the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the symbol itself written in scripture, and where else have we seen the symbol? You can say, oh, no, that can't be right. That's fine. That's your own, and you're free to do that. I am only here to give you the information as a medium so that you can see it. And that, my problem is that when you try, like what I based this entire stream off of, when you're trying to show people the truth, like Russian vids or any of these other people about the truth behind the Bible and all this, they don't want to hear it. As soon as you start talking about Jesus, you're going to get kicked. As soon as I mention something about Jesus, I got kicked. As soon as I mention Eric Dubé on Russian Vid's live stream, I said, dude, is this a hit piece on Eric again? I was just asking. And he said, no, you're booted. You clown. I think he called me a clown and said, are you one of Eric Dubé's goons? I'm like, no, I don't think he has any goons. Not necessarily receiving the mark. All right, look, you guys are trying to get me to give it away to you right now. I can't. But no, it's not receiving the mark, but it's also, do you have the name written in your forehead? So that'll be my last statement that I make. When you guys look that up in the Bible, the name written in their forehead. Think about that. What name is written in your forehead? Right. So you really want to get into it. This is going to be a 2-part video, but if you really want to, I will. I can do it probably this week. I'll come back on, and if it's a pretty good turnout like it was today, I say we just go into it. I'll do Mark of the Beast, part 1, and we'll go through it live. And it's going to be, I might be able to do both parts if everybody still sticks around like now or whatever. I try not to do a 3-hour stream, but it'll be a 2. I'll try and keep my talking to a minimum, and we can play a couple of the videos and really go through it. And it's pretty mind blowing. If you haven't seen it, it's really bad. I mean, be forewarned. But yeah, the receiving the mark. I mean, that's it. I mean, is the mark? Have you received the mark? And a lot of people want to compare it to to, getting shots and doing this and doing that. And that's not necessarily what it is based on what it says. We can all have all our imagination of what we think it might be. How about we just go based on what it says, right? Let's go with the mark of the beast or whatever, the way it says. And after we do that, then we can come up with our own other conclusions. So that's kind of how I attack all this. Is I don't add, oh yeah, you just took this and I think this is a mark and this is that. No, how about we go what the mark says that the mark is, and then boom, we go from there, So yeah, Boris, I know. They all are, all of them have their own little issues and stuff. It's like Russian vids being friends with Bart Sibrel from Astronauts Gone Wild. Like, I appreciate what Bart Sibrel did, exposing all the astronauts, but how can you still believe in NASA after watching that? That was one of the things that woke me up to the truth of the world. I mean, why exactly would Bart Sibrel actually be, still a globe believer, a globe worshiper? And he's so adamant about it too, Hey, Mr. Xavier in the building. That X looks like Elon Musk's new Twitter logo. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. That's actually what it's all about. That's what it's about. Yeah. That's part of what the mark of the beast actually is. That's part of it. Yeah. That's why you're going to start seeing it without knowing. A lot of people aren't even going to know what they're looking at. And it's amazing. Wars are a lie. They are 100%. Yeah, I don't know how I would never get in an interview with this guy if he's and you could see that he's just boosted himself to a high degree, interviewing people. Oh no, Earth is still a globe. No, it's not. It's not a globe. Unfortunately, it's not. You know why? Because we don't live on a globe, number one. And number two, if you try and say it's a ball, same situation. You know what I mean? Don't want to hear it, man. It's not provable to any degree. It's actually been debunked many times over. And that's also another issue, just to round this off. That's the problem with some of these debate channels and stuff, is that they're bringing up arguments that have been debunked since 2000 and when? How long has it been? 2015? It was debunked? I still think it's a globe. You can look at a globe and geographically everything works out, which means it has to be true. It is, therefore it is. It has to be, therefore it is. I mean, we're dealing with absolutely crazy people. You know how crazy it is to actually believe that you are flying through space hundreds of thousands of miles an hour, spinning around right now, flying and tailing a sun, headed into oblivion, possibly into I mean, you know how scary that is? You know what I'm saying? Like when I leave out of my studio, I should probably look up in the air to make sure no asteroids is going to fall down on me. I mean, because it's dangerous as hell. Think about it. I mean, think about being trapped in that world, thinking that you're headed for oblivion. Thinking that what you've seen, you look at the stars and you're looking into the past. Like, that has to be some of the most strongest drugs that anybody could ever smoke to make me ever believe any kind of nonsense like that ever again. I mean, I would actually have to be out of my head completely. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me on this chat. I think I am going to do a Mark of the Beast. We might do that maybe Wednesday. So I might not be here tomorrow. And I think Wednesday I might come on and we can do the Mark of the Beast if you guys are up for that. Okay. If everybody's willing to at least sit for about an hour, I say we do it. It'll be part 1 and a part 2. And I say we actually just do it, because I think that's the most important information, But thank you all for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. Time is the only thing we have of value on this earth. And I appreciate everyone spending their time with me, as you don't ever have to. So thank you all. Thank you for joining. And I hope to see everybody again. Leave me some comments, by the way. Any topics that you want me to talk about, just put them down in the comments, dude. I only get mad with people when people are just like, bro, you're wrong about this. And that's it. And I'm just like, dude, what? At least prove it. So I don't argue with people, even if people think that all the time. I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to set the record straight. And I want people to actually like set the record proper, you know, that way everybody gets the information that they need. I hate poisoning the well, and I hate muddying the water. And that's all it is, muddying the water. Light waves, and using photons to debunk photons. It's all poisoning the well. It's all muddying the water, and we don't need it. We're not even debating flat Earth anymore. We're debating nonsense now. We're doing this stuff now, you know, where two flat earthers are eating chemicals on camera. Okay. So it's really sad to see where we have fallen. But anyway, thank you all for joining the stream. Listen, everybody, take care, be safe, and I will see you all hopefully Wednesday. I'm going to try. All right. Everybody have a great rest of their evening, day, morning, wherever you are. Amish Space.